So we mentioned in the left pillar is Muqaddas Ardabili. In the right pillar is Allama Hilli. Just a short story of Allama Hilli is Allama Hilli reached the stage of ijtihad, meaning that he reached a level of Islamic knowledge that he was able to derive his own conclusions by taking Quran and Hadith, right? We have people who are the laymen, then we have scholars, right? Then we have the alims and the ulama. Then on top of that, we have the grand scholars. Then on top of that, we have the marjas. Then on top of that, we have the grand maraja, right? Those people who are at the top, they are those people who have studied for 50, 60 years of their life and studied Islam to such depth that they are able to conclude an Islamic law by just taking a verse of the Quran, a hadith, and using their aql, right? 50, 60 years. Allama Hilli reached the age of ijtihad at the age of 12. Be proud of your scholars. Allama Hilli reached ijtihad at the age of 12. But until you're 15, the laws of Islam are not wajib on you. You don't have to pray. You should get in the habit of praying. But if you're under 15 as a male and under 9 as a female, you don't have to pray. You don't have to fast. The laws of Islam don't apply to you. So the Prophet says when you're raising your children, we're all very familiar with the hadith, for the first 7 years treat them as kings. After that become their teachers for the next 7. Then from 14 to 21 become their friends. Right? A lot of people try to enforce religion on their children at a very young age, thinking that these are my children, they must accept Islam. But then in essence what you're doing is you're making your kid turn away from Islam. So Muqaddas Allama Hilli at the age of 12 reached ijtihad, was not the most knowledgeable man of his time, but the Islamic laws don't apply to him, right? So there's a very funny story. We don't really get much humor from the mimbar, we don't really get much comedy speaking from the mimbar, but if there are historical events narrated and things mentioned in the books, we should talk about them. They say that one day Allama Hilli did something that his father wasn't happy with. So his father said to him, Hilli, come here. And obviously we're all, Pakistani, we understand that when your dad says, Urana, you've messed up, right? You know what's coming. So Allama Hilli walks into the room and his dad calls him and he's angry. He's about to tell him off. So Allama Hilli, being as smart as he was, there's 4 verses in the Holy Quran that the moment you read those verses, you have to go into sajda. Doesn't matter who it is. Even right now in Bradford, right now, I'm not going to, don't worry. But if I was to recite that verse in the Quran right now, every single one in this room who is over 15, including myself, it's wajib on us to go into sajda right now. We have to. You don't have a choice. Ya Rasulullah. Ya Ali. You have to do it. You don't have a choice. So what did Hilli do? He read the verse of the Quran, and his father, So his father went straight into sajda and he ran upstairs. A few hours later, Allama Hilli comes downstairs to eat dinner, and his dad says, Hilli, come here, I need to talk to you about something. He reads the next verse in the Quran. His father goes into sajda, he goes in the kitchen, eats his food and runs. But Allama Hilli, one of the greatest scholars that we have,